I think that it's murder. I do think that it is murder, although I don't think that all forms of murder are morally equivalent. I also think that that's not how you govern in a republic of 340 million people.
Okay.
So what I would like to do governmentally is not the same thing as what I would like to do morally, and I wish that more of our politicians felt the same, frankly.
Okay, I mean, yeah, well, like the overwhelming point there, you think abortion's murder, you think that it should be left up to the state, you think that murder should be left up to the state. You're saying that you
on
have
a pragmatic level.
Okay,
yes,
on a pragmatic level through the Constitution.
No.
If
I were setting the rule,
okay.
why don't you just do this? In a state where I was the governor of the state, a popularly elected governor of the state, would I push for a heartbeat bill, for example? Yes.
Okay,
why don't we
so
just do that?
You think that it morally should be left up to the state. So your claim is that Kamala Harris's perspective on abortion is wrong, yet you say it's morally wrong for it to be left up to the state, and that's Trump's perspective. So would you also say that Trump's perspective on abortion is morally decrepit?
I don't think that Donald Trump's moral position with regard to pragmatically leaving up to the states is of the same ilk as Kamala Harris, who actually wants to retain power at the federal level and then cram it down on the
and I
states.
agree with that. So I don't think that abortion is wrong. I think that all 170 million American women and girls should have access to abortion, and I think that there's some
at
issues.
any level, at any time.
No, before about 20 through 24 weeks, right?
Okay,
time.
so that's not actually the Democratic Party position, but that's
really?
fine.
Roe v. Wade, it rescinds it back down to the state after the point of viability.
The Democratic Party platform makes no limitations with regard to abortion.
Roe v. Wade, it allows states to legislate on access to abortion after 20 through 24 weeks at the point of viability, giving the states the same legislative ability on abortion in the third trimester as Trump's
I understand
position.
what Roe versus Wade says. That's actually not the position of the Democratic Party for my entire lifetime. They're now using Roe versus Wade as sort of the crux of the matter in order to avoid the question as to whether they would, for example, veto late-term abortion, or I wonder why 20 to 24 weeks is really the standard for some people who suggest sentience. Sentience obviously takes place significantly before 20 to 24 weeks.
So for sentience, we'd actually see that the preponderance of the evidence from medical professionals would denote it occurring at somewhere between 20 and 24 weeks due to like the ability to deploy the thymocortical connections, right? We'd see like
viability occurs 20 to 24 weeks.
We'd see medical examinations from like the 70s and 80s that denote like the ability to play certain brain waves like earlier at about 7 to 8 weeks.
Yes.
However, those would be, I believe it's either A or delta waves, not the sufficient waves that would be necessary to deploy sentience. But on your position, you said that a human being is morally valuable at the moment of conception.
Agreed.
I would love to ask you a question. Do you think that women with IUDs are murderers? This was the same question I asked to Charlie.
I know
Kirk.
you did, yeah.
And the reason I want to ask you
the same answer that I
gave,
that Charlie gave, which is that IUDs are designed to prevent
Yeah,
conception.
so
They're not designed to abort